you from beautiful Florida. And today our question comes to us from Iron Mama 5. And Iron Mama 5 asks whether I think it is okay to use items such as Ouija boards or pendulums to try to speak to those who are in spirit. And in fairness, I must point out that Iron Mama 5 did not ask this question of me, but rather of Foxglove McCloud, the beautiful and talented young lady who used to do a lot of programming with us here at Magic TV. However, very tragically, Foxglove herself is now in spirit, and therefore I shall undertake to answer the question. And I have to say that, in my opinion, things like Ouija boards and pendulums, and many other items as well, are tools that we use to facilitate psychic communication. That communication is actually independent of the tool. The tool merely helps us to do it. And this is a very important thing to understand, and is often misunderstood by people. Is it appropriate to use these things to try to speak to those who are in spirit? Well, if you're doing it with a pure heart and reasonable knowledge of what you're doing, then yes, absolutely it is, and it can be very successful. It is also a very primitive set of techniques. You'd be much better advised to simply learn how to do spirit messaging, which is both easier and more accurate, though a little bit harder to learn initially. So things like pendulums or Ouija boards can be good training wheels for learning how to do spirit messaging. However, if you're doing it from the wrong frame of mind or for the wrong purposes, or without at least some knowledge of what you're doing, then no, they're not appropriate, nor are any other tools, because these things are absolute necessities. Many years ago, I did a radio show on telepathic radio, and the subject of the show was Ouija board, psychic tool or a gateway to hell, hell, hell. And I and another guest were taking opposing points of view on this matter, and the other guest was trying to explain why he thought the Ouija board was a terrible portal to demonic realms. And he told the story of a group of drunken frat boys who took their Ouija board to a graveyard and had a bad experience. Well, if you're a bunch of drunken frat boys, you should not be trying to do anything like this. And of course they were going to have a bad experience. It has nothing to do with the tool, but with the misuse of it. And if you're going to use any tool for communicating with those who are in spirit, you should do it with a pure heart, you should do it with appropriate shielding, you should do it with prayer, and you should do it in communication with your spirit guides, who can help you to have a positive experience. And if you're not coming from that proper point of view, that pure heart, that right intention, it doesn't matter what tool you use, it's not really something you should be doing. So I hope that answers your question and gives you something to think about, and until next time, may you blessed be. Reverend Don, super omnibus of incantations and invocations for all occasions. Marianne Kay and I created this massive compendium of magic and artwork for you to use in any way that you would like. There are literally hundreds of spells and hundreds of illustrations, which can be mixed and matched and used in many different ways. Check it out now at witchghoulstore.com.